Thems Fightin Words, VR.
Hello everyone, what's good? This is a very special episode of Ringside VR, combining with one of our very special Ringside Fight cards. Today we got our one of our champions, Zenith, who's going to be in here fighting cardio. Yeah, how you doing?
What's going on, Sally?
Yeah, so you're going to be fighting cardio cam soon, but right now we're going to be interviewing you in a very special TFW episode. We're just going to find out a little bit about you. Whatever you want to share, whatever you're comfortable with, hobbies,
Okay.
Work, family, anything like that.
A little bit of my personal life, I've been in the military for 15 years, 4 years away from retiring, I'm excited. I'm ready for a new chapter soon. I do have a family. I live in good old Alaska where it reaches temperatures of -55, which is nice.
Wow.
But VR gaming, man, this is where it's at. This is the game that keeps the dust off my quest, and this is what I love.
Powerful combination. Dad strength from the north. I already imagine you just like out there punching ice.
I'm out there fighting bears, punching ice. That's how I train.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into VR, what's your background with regular martial arts or combat sports, even just fighting? What brought you to this kind of sport?
Just a little bit about the military. There is something, for people that don't know, there is a combatives program in the military. There's 3 levels to it. Level 1 is about, I think, a week or 2. I can't remember. I did it so long ago. Then you got level 2, which runs about 2 to 3 weeks, and you got level 3, which runs over a month. I am level 2 certified. So it includes a lot of striking, a lot of mixed martial arts, and you're training with your gear on too. So you're learning the fight, but you're mainly learning the fight wearing all your body armor. So that's how you train. So so there was a lot of that. I did that. I loved it so much. They did offer level 3, but when it comes with level 3, I didn't want to go through about a month of just getting my ass kicked, and I couldn't strike back. So I stayed with level 2. I became an instructor, alternate, so I would help certify other people to level 1, level 2. So that is my extent. I've been doing that for many, many years. And other than that, a lot of VR fighting.
I mean, that's a good transition, right? What's your what kind of games do you play before VR?
Ooh, all right. So before VR, man, that's been a while. Before I discovered the Vive, what was I playing? Probably maybe like Grand Theft Auto, StarCraft,
Which one? What was your GTA?
The latest one was it 5? Because 6 has still been developing for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah, I fell off after like San Andreas, man.
But back in 2016, 2016, 2017, when I put on the Vive headset for the first time, it was a wrap. Console gaming, I don't even own anything beyond the Xbox 360.
Aside from Era of Combat and boxing, what games do you play in VR, or is it just strictly combat sports?
So when I first got into VR, Rec Room was my all-time favorite for a while. I played that a lot. I discovered Creed. When I discovered Creed, that was the only game I played, honestly. I loved it. I loved the competitiveness, fighting, all that. And that was the only online PvP game. A little bit, about myself. I'm not a single player person. I love online PvP. So I know there was Thrill of the Fight. I did try it. I enjoy it. It's pretty cool, but I just don't like fighting a computer. I like it to be a person that's always interesting, always going to be different, no matter what. So
I feel you, right? It's like at some point, without that PvP, it just feels like you're punching a digital punching bag at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So it was basically between Rec Room and Creed. A little bit of Phasmophobia if I want to give myself a heart attack. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I remember that game. That's the only game I couldn't handle. Gave me VR sickness, which is like the worst experience when you're like kind of thrown up in real life and there's some kind of ghost trying to kill you. You're just like, just do it. I'm done. I need out.
The first time I played that game real quick, we heard the ghost coming. I ran into a corner of a room and I just stared at a wall in a fetal position, and I said, if it gets me, at least my eyes are closed.
Nice. So what is it that you really like about like VR combat sports and combat games in particular? Yeah, is it the fitness aspect, like a little bit of the the technical, like what gets for you?
You hit it right there on the first one. It's the fitness aspect of it. The fact that you can play this game and for an hour long, don't even realize it. And I come out and I look and I'm like, wow, 900 calories compared to what I've been doing for the last 15 years in the military, which is running. And you would think after so many years of running, you would enjoy it. To this day, I absolutely hate it. And I learned from EOC specifically, because I play it every day, use it as my main cardio. There's a fitness test that you have every 6 months in the military, and there's a running portion of it. And to this day, I never run. And when I take the fitness test, it's a breeze. And it's all because all my cardio comes from this game. And that's the number one aspect that I love about playing this type of game. Second is obviously competitiveness. I'm a very, very competitive person. We play Monopoly, you land on Boardwalk, you will pay. That's how I am. So I love like learning different, fighting different people, learning new techniques and all that good stuff into it. So, fitness and then the competitiveness of it.
No, I really agree with you. Like, I love the fitness aspect. It's been, I don't go to the gym. It's been the thing I used. It's interesting you mentioned like the other thing that for cardio, right, is running, right? So it really is like you just train like your fight or flight, and it's like, sometimes it's more fun to get that fight instinct out as opposed to just like I'm running forever.
Oh man, no music in the ears, none of it worked for me. I'm just all right. I gotta go on a 5-mile run, or I can play EOC for a good 45 minutes.
Yeah, no brainer.
It's an easy decision.
For sure. What actually do you consider to be the benefits of fighting VR? Maybe aside from the fitness aspect, what could be the drawbacks?
So, the drawbacks of the game?
Of either the game or VR fighting in general.
All right, so I would say the drawbacks.
You can even talk during these middle parts. It's not a big deal.
So the main drawback of playing these type of games is injury, mainly in the shoulders. You got to be careful because you get into it so much you don't realize when you're going to cause injuries to your body when you're swinging at air. Like sometimes even I'm guilty of it. I just, especially this game, all my strikes I put so much power and into it that I'll be days I'll be like, dang, I'm sore, I'm hurting, I got to make sure I stretch. There's that. There's typical breaking of the controllers, punching a wall, hitting your animal on accident.
Everyone in this game has one of those. It's like an unfortunate rite of passage. I keep telling people like, hey man, adjust your guardian, and they're like, nah, I'll be fine.
Yep. And I will say that the combative game that causes me the most injuries is VFC. Yeah. Because I'm moving around and I'm using my joystick. Now I don't realize I'm in the corner of my play space, and just one punch into the wall. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I agree with you, right? Because it's like you're stationary to wherever you're moving, whereas like in that game, it's like you're playing it, but on like a digital skateboard, like that's moving too, and like the ground's moving. You're stepping.
So just I want a Superman punch in VFC with the dash as I'm moving forward, everything, and instead of hitting your digital face, I hit a window or something, and that's
right. With EOC in mind now, what do you like about VR fighting in that sense? But like, what would you change about it, right? Because it's not perfect right now. This game's in early access. How would you fix it and like some of its problems?
So I want to start off with I know there's a lot of complaints about the game, but if only people, the new community, the new players that arrive could experience what this game was like on day one compared to what it is right now. We got the stances now, whereas before day one players, if we all remember, it was legit. You were straight bone It was like sock and bomb robots. There was no stands, none of that. There was a lot of bugs, a lot of it. So I just, I feel that the game is good. A game will always need to be worked on. Just like Thrill the Fight. When it first came out, and nobody remembers, it was a terrible game. I remember that. But it's gotten great. 7 years, There's one developer for this game. He's working it, and I think it's come a long way. It definitely does for sure need some work, as we discovered. There's new players comes with, new ways of thinking instead of, treating this like a sim, because let's be honest, the developer has put out, he wants to treat this like a sim more than an arcade.
That's the intention of the game.
And so there are players out there that want to be the best at the game, regardless of how they get there, than trying to treat it, like a sim, and so they'll find ways, and which is honestly, it's good, because then we can report it, get the developer, and he can eventually fix it. He's a one-man show. He's also got a family, and from what I'm hearing, he's got another kid on the way, so he's piling on work for him. But hopefully he'll get to it. I am hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, that's something for anyone who's watching this and interested, right? Like, best way you can support these games, buy it and try them out yourself. Always better to have more people fighting, and always give some support to everyone else who's doing it.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, why did you choose to participate in this fight?
And this fight with
and this one specifically against Cam.
What's his name again?
Cardio Cam.
Cardio who? Nah. All right, so to me, this, I would treat it like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. It is a farce. No, I chose, the main reason I chose to participate in this fight was specifically to show Cardio himself that he likes to claim that how he fights, like how I told you, the new players come up with new strategies that completely remove the sim aspect of the game. And he's very, very determined to tell everyone and show that everyone fights the way he fights. And I'm just here to show that it is not true. And so I just told him, hey, the next time we fight, it'll be on webcam so you can see it. And that is the only way to prove that him and I don't fight the same. Unfortunately, IRL footage, multiple footage videos of him have come out and have proved more than enough that he does not treat this like a sim game. And then so I'm like, okay, well, there's that. And so I put out my IRL footage to show, like, hey, I attempt. No matter what, people are going to critique this game. You're not going to be a good enough boxer because that. And they're going to be like, well, and you're not going to be good enough at shadow boxing because when you shadow box, your target does not move, whereas you are. So, and then when it comes to the glove alignments, you got to aim with the knuckles for the precision. And so when you aim it, it looks funny in real life with the webcam. So there's a lot of that goes in it. You're never going to be good enough to someone that is, a real professional fighter or boxer to say, hey, you're not fighting. Well, like there's some aspects that you just have to give in. You have to give up in order to try and land perfect. Like right now, I'm throwing a hook here, but this doesn't look like a hook at all.
Right, because that elbow is just dropped, and that's not where it'd be like up here where it's supposed to.
And then even in real life, I'm throwing the hook, but my glove, I still have to make sure it's aligned the right way. My knuckles meet your face. So, that's why I took this fight, just for that. And
hey, I mean, this is something we're all trying to figure out here for sure, right? Because this is like, especially when it's a boxing simulator, it's right on the edge of that line of like, you got to be real, you got to accept that it's not going to be perfect, right? And like figure it out in the middle. We definitely hope to figure that out for sure. So this has been a great interview, but before we go out, any pluggables you want to tell, any final words, any shout out you want to give to our audience?
The community already knows. I run tournaments for the game. So plug it in, VRFCL. I'm sure you guys will post the link in there. I run monthly
Absolutely.
tournaments for people that are competitive, that love fighting games like this. I host them. I try and put in at least twice a month. That for sure once a month. Come on over, come compete. It's growing. The rules are adjusting as, like I said, players try and take advantage of the mechanics as best as possible. I try and combat it with the next tournament and new rules, at least until the developer fixes it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sometimes, you know,
yeah.
when there's only one guy, you gotta do it yourself and make, you know, the community and the fighters have to agree on the rules, kind of gentleman's agreement style.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, come on over. You like to compete, you like fighting, come over to Discord, join. It's free sign up, and there's always prizes.
All right. Well, then we're going to sign up for this interview. We're going to jump into a press conference with your opponent and my co-host, and we're just going to, you know, have some rebuttal. And all right, we'll see y'all there.
All right, sounds good.